I've been over at Dig, blogging and reading articles and promoting articles, and the two top stories now at the Dig homepage is about the Ron Suskind book, The Way of the World, and I have this picture here: story of truth and hope in the age of extremism. Now, the book, that's kind of a strange title, but the book has two rather, incriminating, I would call them, horribly incriminating accusations against the Bush administration. One is that they forged a letter that was supposed to be from Saddam's intelligence officer, one of his high intelligence officers, to Saddam, talking about training, talking about training Osama bin Laden, or training Muhammad Atta, or training some of the Al-Qaeda. Oh, here's a picture of George Tenet getting the Medal of Honor from W. Bush, our president, the liar-in-chief. So supposedly this forged document from Saddam's intelligence officer to Saddam saying to train Al-Qaeda, and it was backdated to before 9/11, and then it was leaked, got into a reporter's hands. A British reporter mysteriously got this. And Bush, according to the Suskind book, Bush ordered the CIA to concoct this forged communication and then get it into the hands of somebody. So it got into the hands. Hey, it reminds me of the forged Niger documents, doesn't it? Talk about forged documents. Okay, so the accusation is the CIA assisted Bush in this forgery. Bush and or Cheney. I'm not quite sure the wording of the book. That's the one accusation. Oh, and it ended up in the hands of a British journal, and it made on the front page of a British journal or a British newspaper in 2003, after we had invaded. The other accusation in the book is that Bush and the CIA had this contact, the same Iraqi intelligence officer. He had told them that there were no WMD, that Saddam was not working on WMD. He didn't have any WMD that they were claiming, and that they knew this. The CIA knew it, Bush knew it, Rice knew it, everybody. I assume maybe Colin Powell, maybe they let Colin Powell in on the secret too. Certainly Rice would have known it. She was hanging around Bush all the time. Cheney would have known it. Rumsfeld would have known it. Wolf, all the neocons would have known it. So those are the two big bombshells from the Suskind book, and this is probably going to be yet another. Bush is getting really bad. Every book that comes out now about the Bush administration says that Bush is a liar. Now the question is whether this is going to lead to any impeachment or maybe any charges. And it's too bad that this book didn't come out 2 weeks earlier, and it could have gotten into the impeachment hearing. That's one of my beefs with Suskind, is why he didn't come out a little bit earlier. He could have testified with Bugliosi. But I'm losing my train of thought. Well, I'm going to have to edit this in. Oh, yeah. The other question is impeachment. The other question besides impeachment is whether how the mainstream media is going to handle this, because this is a hot, white-hot potato that they don't want to handle because they don't like WMD. Oh, it's a confusing thing, and they screwed up the WMD story anyway. They swallowed Bush's lies, and they're complicit in the lying, I would say. So I did a Google search here. Let me just see how the top news. I typed in. There's a Newsweek says CIA officials quoted in new book deny. Oh, they faked the letter. Okay, everyone is saying that the book is wrong. The book is lying. Let's see, linked. Bob Woodward is supposed to come out with a new book September 8th. That was also. There are 473 related articles. on this book, the Suskind book. Buzz, forgery, forged documents. Okay, the question is whether the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Los Angeles Times, the Wall Street Journal, any of these major newspapers is going to pick up this story. My guess is they're chicken. They're chicken. And if the mainstream media is chicken, and Pelosi is going to be chicken too, and the Congress is probably not going to go for impeachment, all right.